Gentlemen, please remove your caps and welcome in the Southern Maryland Volunteer Firemen's Association Honor Guard with the presentation of tonight's colors. Now fans, please direct your attention behind home plate and welcome Carly Rice for the performance of our national anthem.
A terrific Saturday in Southern Maryland. We're ready for some baseball as Darryl Thompson takes them out on just 3 days rest on bobblehead night as the Blue Crabs host the Lancaster Barnstormers for Game 2 of a 3-game series. Barnstormers come into this one with a 5-game lead in the North Division in the second half. We'll run you through the starting lineup for the Lancaster Barnstormers along with the defensive alignment for the Blue Crabs momentarily. But first, let's give you some of the numbers on Darryl Thompson as he's just about ready to throw the first pitch of this ball game. He comes in leading the Atlantic League in a number of categories, including wins and whip, not to mention innings pitched, where he is 17 innings ahead of second place Mitch Lamson. In the wins category, Thompson with 13, his whip at 1.11. ERA on the year, 3.54. That is the second best in the Atlantic League. And the first pitch to Melvin Mercedes, it looked pretty good, but call the ball on the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Your umpiring crew today, Doug McFarling behind home plate, Mike Williams at first, and Jim Clayton is the third base umpire. 1-0 delivery. That's up and away in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. When I talked with Darryl Thompson after his start on Tuesday, he told me one of the things that really frustrated him was falling behind in counts early. 2-0 pitch, that's a called strike, count 2-1. He was really good on Tuesday. 7 innings of work, allowed 5 hits. He struck out 4, did not walk a batter, did not allow a run. Here is the 2-1. Swing and a high pop-up. This one to shallow left field. It's Sundberg who moves in, fighting the shadows, and he makes the catch just above shoulder high, and there is 1 away. Zach Collier trots over to Sundberg, makes sure that there's no issue with the sun out in left center. Well, either way, let's bring you around the defensive alignment for the Blue Crabs, then we'll take you through the Lancaster Barnstormers starting lineup. It's Sundberg in left, Collier is in center, the right fielder is Braxton Lee. At third base, it's Alex Crosby, the shortstop is Michael Baca. Over at second base, Ian Yetzko and Jared Walker patrols first. Behind the plate, it's Joe DeLuca who's doing the catching for Darryl Thompson. First pitch, a little bit low in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Now for the starting lineup for the Barnstormers, Melvin Mercedes, who led off with a fly out to left. Pitch, big swing and a miss from Trayvon Robinson, and the count 1-1, a breaking ball that fell off the plate. Trayvon Robinson bats second, Andretti Cordero in the 3 spot. Colton Shaver is the cleanup hitter. It's the same lineup as yesterday, actually, just Colton Shaver is at first base. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, well struck center field, sends Collier back. He's in front of the warning track. He makes the catch in front of the Bud Light sign in straightaway center field. And there are 2 away in the top of the first inning. Now the 5-hitter, Anderson Feliz, batting 6th is Anthony Peroni. Peroni was at first base yesterday, or was it the designated hitter yesterday? Colton Shaver was behind the plate, so Shaver moves from the plate to first, Cordero from first to DH, and Peroni from DH to catcher. Chris Proctor is in right field, he bats 7th. Jacob Barfield bats 8th, he's in left. And Trace Lair bats 9th, he is the third baseman. Niall Ball will be on the mound once we get things started in the bottom of the first inning. The first pitch called strike, that one just barely cracks the inner half of the plate, and the count 0-1 on Andretti Cordero. 0-1 pitch, called strike on the outer half, and the count 0-2. First 2 batters, and they're the first 2 flyouts of the game. Blue Crabs coming off of a crushing 5-3 defeat last night. Get into the details when we've got a chance. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a pop-up foul, first base side. The count remains 0-2. The Blue Crabs trailed nearly the entire way last night. Well, from the 5th inning onward anyway. It was a 3-run inning in the 5th for the Barnstormers. Blue Crabs couldn't get anything across. 0-2. Upstairs, count 1-2. The Blue Crabs finally got on the board in the 7th inning with a solo shot from David Harris on the mini monster in left field. And then in the bottom of the 9th, the 2 outs, Harris came through again, tied the game at 3, but the Blue Crabs lost in extras. 1-2 pitches low and away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes on Andretti Cordero. Top of the 10th inning, a trio of errors against just 2 batters. and it cost the Blue Crabs the game last night. Thompson, the 2-2. Swinging a line drive, foul, first base side once more toward the concourse level, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch to Andretti Cordero. Low and away, it's ball 3 as it gets past the catcher DeLuca, and Cordero fakes like he's going to run to first as part of the stealing first base rule on drop third strikes. But no one does. A lot of teams have internal penalties that will reduce the interest in taking off for first. 3-2 pitch. Called, strike 3. Andretti Cordero rung up on strikes by Doug McFarling. He doesn't like it. It's strike 3 anyway. A 1-2-3 inning from Darryl Thompson. A pair of flyouts and a called third strike on Andretti Cordero. At the end of the top of the first inning, it's the Barnstormers nothing, and the Blue Crabs coming to bat on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Darryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
And the first pitch swinging from Jack Sundberg down the left field line. It is the left fielder for the Lancaster Barnstormers. That's Jacob Barfield who drifts over and makes the catch for the first out. A 1 pitch and 1 out from Niall Ball. As Michael Baca will come to the plate. Well, it is Niall Ball who fires the first pitch to Baca and misses away. And the count 1-0. Let's give you the numbers on Niall Ball. He comes in with a 9-4 record, a 4.10 earned run average across 22 games. He has 21 starts. And the pitch, it's a called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Across the month of August, Ball through 31 innings in 5 starts, averages just over 6 innings per outing. Had a 4.06 ERA that month. Pitch, big wave and a miss. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Scoreless ball game. We're going to run you through the Blue Crabs order momentarily. It's Jack Sundberg who leads things off. Michael Baca bats second. Braxton Lee bats third. David Harris is the cleanup hitter. He's back in the lineup tonight after hitting 2 home runs yesterday. Alex Crosby bats fifth. Zach Collier in the sixth spot. Pitch, ground ball, first base line. Tiptoed the line, but went foul at the last moment. Would have been extra bases for Michael Baca. Missed by only a few inches. But the first base umpire, Miles Williams, on top of things and calls it foul. Joe DeLuca bats seventh. Jared Walker in the 8th spot. And Ian Yetzko bats ninth. Now around the diamond for the Barnstormers. Following the 1-2 pitch to Michael Baca. Ball taking his sweet time to get the sign from his catcher, Anthony Perrone. Pitch. Upstairs. The count 2-2. Jacob Barfield in left. Trayvon Robinson is in center. The right fielder is Chris Proctor. The third baseman, Trey Slair. Over at shortstop, Anderson Felice. The second baseman, Melvin Mercedes. At first base is Colton Shaver. 2-2 pitch. Called. Strike 3. Home plate umpire Doug McFarling rings up Michael Baca to no protest. He knew it was strike 3, and there are 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. And Braxton Lee will dig in from the left side. The pitch, that's outside. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Lee. As Braxton Lee ropes the 1-0 pitch. This one down the left field line. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Lee going to second base. Strong throw from Barfield, but it comes in on a bounce. A stand-up 2-out double for Braxton Lee. And the Blue Crabs have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes David Harris. Well, Harris will step in from the right side, taps home plate once. And ball stepped off, now steps back on. And the first pitch is low. Count 1 ball and no strikes on David Harris. One-0. That's up and in. Count 2 balls and no strike on David Harris. Harris wearing the police cap on his video board graphic. With Braxton Lee on second base, no score in the bottom of the first. 2-0 pitch. Called strike. That one clips the outside corner in the count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch on the ground, third base side. It's actually snagged by Eddie Butler there toward the dugout. And the count 3 balls and 1 strike. I believe it's Law Enforcement and Firefighter First Responder Appreciation Day today. As seen a number of players whose graphics on the video board include either a police cap or one thing or another that I believe Jerron Nathan has been involved in working with. And the 2-1 pitch, 2-2 pitch I should say, close, a little low, and the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second base and 2 outs. Harris went deep twice last night, once in the 7th, once in the 9th. Here's the 3-2. Foul back. Braxton Lee, a short lead off of second base. The two top average leaders on the Blue Crabs with Lee and Harris. Harris the plate, Lee on second. Pitch popped up, shallow center field. It's the shortstop, Anderson Felice, who drifts back onto the outfield grass and makes the catch for the final out. Blue Crabs strand one. At the end of one, there's no score on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Colton Shaver takes the mound. I beg your pardon, will step into the box as Darrell Thompson takes the mound in the top of the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 for the Barnstormers in a scoreless ball game. First pitch called strike. That's at the belt. And the count 0-1 on Shaver. And the pitch. Big wave and a miss. Count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Shaver followed by Felice and Peroni. And the 0-2's upstairs. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Thompson shakes off the catcher DeLuca. Now here is the 1-2. Line drive foul, first base side. That one finds its way toward the parking lot. Southern Maryland comes into this one 77-20. Back-to-back losses, 3 losses in their last 5 games after losing the bookends of the 4-game set against Charleston. 1-2 pitch, a little away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Colton Shaver. Scoreless ball game in the top of the second on the catcher. Well, the first baseman tonight. He's primarily a catcher, but Shaver at first tonight as Anthony Peroni doing the catching, and Andretti Cordero moved from first to DH. Shaver was supposed to be the DH tonight, but a late switch with him and Cordero. Pitch foul back to the netting, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blue Crabs getting to the point where their starting lineup really doesn't have too many holes. Here is the 2-2 pitch, swinging a high pop-up center field straight away. Collier trying to track it through the shadows into the sun and makes the catch, and there is 1 away.
Now batting at shortstop, number 8, Anderson Feliz.
And Anderson Feliz, the infielder, who plays shortstop tonight, will dig in from the right side. Three flyouts so far in the first 4 batters that Darrell Thompson has faced. And the first pitch is low to Anderson Feliz. We talked about this earlier, that Darrell Thompson was frustrated that he was throwing first pitch balls. 1-0 pitch, that's low, count 2-0. And he said very frequently, more than half the time, I'd start with a ball in the first pitch to a batter, and I'd fall behind 2-0 frequently as well. He did not end up walking a batter in his complete game shutout. Pitch, swinging a high fly ball, very well struck to center. It's the center fielder, Zach Collier, who drifts back in front of the outfield, the outdoor creation sign, and makes the catch for the second out. That ball was blasted off the bat of Feliz, probably about 380 feet to the deepest part of that ballpark in right center. But it's still 2 up and 2 down in the second. Darrell Thompson on bobblehead night. Blue Crab staff worked closely with Thompson to try to get the best bobblehead they could. It looks good. First 500 in attendance received the bobbleheads. That went very, very quickly tonight. Pitch called strike, and the count 0-1 on Anthony Peroni. Here is the 0-1. Called strike, count 0-2. Barely clips the outside corner on Peroni. Back in the top of the first inning, Mercedes and Robinson both struck the ball very well, but we're still the first 2 outs. And then here in the second, Shaver and Feliz hit the ball well. This time, ground ball over to short. Fielded by Baca, the long throw to first, and plenty of time to get Anthony Peroni, who does not run all that well. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings from the Blue Crab starter, Darrell Thompson. We go to the bottom of the second inning. There's no score from the Reagan Waldorf.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Come stay at the Holiday Inn Express Waldorf, where teamwork makes the dream work. A proud sponsor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and your home away from home. The Holiday Inn Express is located at 11,370 Days Court. That's 11370 Days Court, Waldorf, near the Waldorf Shoppers World Shopping Center. Call 301-932-9200 to make a reservation, or look us up at ihg.com or on the IHG app. Come put your feet up and enjoy the complimentary free breakfast and indoor heated pool at the Holiday Inn Express, Waldorf.
Alex Crosby comes to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. Southern Maryland sends 5, 6, and 7. And the first pitch is away for ball 1. 1-0 pitch, called strike, in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike on Alex Crosby. One, a little low and away, count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. No score from Regency Furniture Stadium. I mentioned earlier there are virtually no holes in the Blue Crabs lineup. 2-1 pitch, up and away, count 3-1. We're going to go through batters 5 through 9 here and just sort of discuss how strong this group really is. 3-1. Swinging a ball driven, right field side foul. And the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Alex Crosby, who's hitting north of 280, hit over 310 last year. Zach Collier, who hit 330 last year. His number's down this year, there's no question. He's at 253. His OPS, though, is still north of 800. Pitch, that ball, line drive foul, left field side. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes as it finds the seats. Joe DeLuca, who was picked up and was in AAA earlier this year, still hitting 280 as a catcher with some significant pop in the bat. And Jared Walker, who was in the 3 spot for a large percentage of this year. 3-2 pitch, a little bit low. Crosby aboard with a walk. And then you go down to the bottom of the lineup, number 9 hitter, Ian Yetzko, who's still hitting north of 260, has an OPS in the mid-700s, and has been one of the more consistent hitters for the Blue Crabs, even with the injury to Michael Wolanski. Michael Baca, the player in the lineup with the lowest batting average, but even he's had some really strong games, and the batting average picking up more recently. When I spoke with him in our interview back in Charleston, he was talking a lot about his defensive work, but he can also be a good offensive threat. Pitch to Collier is outside in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Niall Ball with a walk and now falling behind in the count. And the pitch called strike. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike now. Here's the pitch, swinging a high pop-up, right field side. That ball falling and falling fast into the kids' park. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out for Zach Collier in a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second. Runner on first base, it's Alex Crosby. As ball comes set, here's the 1-1, 1-2. Check swing, it's low into the dirt, and he did not go. Count, 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the lefty Collier. And the ability to have a power threat like Walker at the bottom of the lineup, and then also pair him with guys like Yetzko, and the pitch swinging a line drive. This one well struck to center. It's the center fielder back in front of the warning track who makes the catch. Trayvon Robinson jumped on his horse and tracked it down in straightaway center field in front of the batter's eye for the first out. And here comes Joe DeLuca. DeLuca, the switch hitting catcher, will step in from the left side. DeLuca at the plate. It's Walker on deck, and we've talked about this at some length now, but what the Blue Crabs decide to do once Hauge comes back, and that problem, if you're going to want to call it a problem, is now imminent. We'll get there in a moment. First pitch, wave and a miss, count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Blue Crabs nothing, Lancaster nothing in the bottom of the second inning. Yesterday the scoring didn't start until the top of the 5th inning. And the 0-1. Wave and a miss, count 0-2. Darryl Thompson pitching tonight on bobblehead night. We can get into a little more of that in the bottom half of the inning. But so far, he's retired the first 6 he's faced with a strikeout. seems to have picked up where he left off last time out, although there have been some hard hit balls today. No balls, 2 strikes and 1 out. No score. Pitch, wave and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball low and out of the zone, and Niall Ball strikes out Joe DeLuca. And there are 2 away in the bottom of the 2nd inning following the strikeout and the flyout. The Blue Crabs need to find a way to rally and really get some opportunities more frequently, because right now this offense is too quiet. In the last 2 nights, things have gone really poorly for the Blue Crabs at the plate, with only a couple of exceptions. Of course, Harris, the big one, who had 2 of the Blue Crabs' 4 hits last night, and there were a couple of home runs. First pitch, swinging a high fly ball, right center field, not hit all that deep. It's the right fielder, Chris Proctor, who moves over toward right center and makes the catch for the final out right around shoulder high. And that ends the bottom of the 2nd inning. We go to the top of the 3rd, still no score. The Blue Crabs strand 1 at the end of 2. So Blue Crabs nothing, and the Barnstormers nothing. Stick with us for our Prisoners of War and Missing in Action tribute on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Never forget, thank you.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service. And the first pitch, swinging a high pop-up foul, third base side. That one finds the seats, and the count 0-1. Well, no score on the top of the 3rd, as 6, 7, and 8, Proctor, Barfield, and Lair will come to the plate against Darrell Thompson. It was apparently a nice catch in the crowd as people erupted in cheers. Oh, 1 pitch, that's away, count 1-1. So we talked about falling behind early. This time a first pitch strike on the foul ball, but he follows it up with a pitch outside. So really interested in seeing how Darrell Thompson attacks the strike zone early in the next couple of innings. 1-1 pitch, that's away, count 2-1 now. Thompson comes in with a 13-3 record. His ERA has fallen to 3.50 after a couple of clean innings of work. 2-1.
Ground ball that deflects off his glove right over to Ian Yetzko at second. The throw to first in time to get the speedy Chris Proctor, and there's one away. A very fortunate bounce for the Blue Crabs. There are a lot of times that ball takes a ricochet that does not go right to Yetzko, and it stopped him in his tracks. He had his momentum taking him up the middle. Yetzko had to stop and make the play, fire over to first, and get the out. And here comes Jacob Barfield. And here is the first pitch. Call the ball. It's a little up and in the count 1-0. Well, Zach Collier has the hardest hit ball today. Ended up as just the deep fly out to center. Pitch on the ground over to second and a shortstop. It's Baca who fields and fires. 2 up and 2 down in the third. Here comes Trace Lair. Well, it's awfully reminiscent of last night's game with the teams flipped. Last night, the Blue Crabs did not have a base runner until the 5th inning. And only 1 hit going into the 7th when David Harris doubled that count with the solo shot to left. But this ball game remained scoreless until then. Pitch called strike in the count 0-1. Lamson looked really good early. He was allowing a hit or a walk in the first couple of innings, 1 base runner per inning. The 5th is when things spiraled a little bit, ended up going 6 1/3. Pitch on the ground, back to the mound. Thompson fields his position, a sidearm sling to first. 1, 2, 3, go the Barnstormers. The Blue Crabs and Lancaster remain scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 3rd on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, it's the Blue Crabs nothing and the Barnstormers nothing. Ian Yetzko steps in and takes a big wave and a miss, then a breaking ball. He was way out in front of it, and the count 0-1. Well, for the Barnstormers, 9 up, 9 down. For the Blue Crabs, no runs in the first 2 innings. Pitch to Yetzko, breaking ball that's there at the knees, and the count 0-2. Nile Ball, 33 pitches, 21 strikes. For Thompson across 3 innings, 36 pitches, 23 for strikes. Pitch low and away, and the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. Wave and a miss. Ian Yetzko bites on the breaking ball low and out of the zone. And that ends. That's the first out, I should say, in the bottom of the third inning. Here's Jack Sundberg back to the top of the lineup. Sundberg has changed his walk-up song as the 34-game on-base streak came to an end. And the first pitch called strike in the count 0-1. Sundberg's previous walk-up song was apparently very contentious. There were a lot of people who said it was the worst in the league, some who said it was the best in the league. This one, swinging a line drive, right center field. It's falling fast, but not fast enough as Trayvon Robinson gets there and makes the catch. Give you a little more info on Jack Sundberg's walk-up song next time he comes to the plate. And here comes Michael Baca with 2 outs in the third. And the first pitch to Baca, foul back in the count 0-1. 5 consecutive retired now by Niall Ball here in the bottom of the third inning. And here is the 0-1. Swing and a miss, count 0-2. Sundberg went down via the K last time up. And behind in the count 0-2 this time around. No runs on 1 hit and 1 walk for the Blue Crabs through 2 2/3. For the Barnstormers, no runs on no hits and no walks. 0-2, that's a little low. Count 1-2. The Darrell Thompson bobbleheads out. And the first pitch, or the 1-2 pitch, I should say. That's outside. Count 2-2. First pitch, 1-1, 1-2, whatever the count is. Now it's 2-2. I can tell you that much. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on, and no score in the bottom of the third inning. We've got a trivia question. It's coming your way in the top of the fourth inning. We're going to get the player's perspective tomorrow. We couldn't get anyone on today. 2-2 pitch, low in the count 3-2. Usually, regardless of the score line the day prior, we're able to get a player on the next day, but players seem to be unavailable before today's ball game. Need to get some at-bats in, and that's the situation today. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball over to third. Fielded on the backhand by the third baseman. That's Trey Slayer. The throw to first in time to get Michael Baca for the final out. Well, that ends the third inning. The Blue Crabs nothing and the Barnstormers nothing. We go to the top of the fourth on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Well, we go to the top of the fourth inning. Time for some shout-outs along with our trivia question. That's coming in just a couple of moments as Melvin Mercedes will get things started for the Barnstormers in a scoreless game. First pitch called strike and the count 0-1. It's Melvin Mercedes followed by Trayvon Robinson and Andretti Cordero here in the fourth inning. 1, 2, and 3 for the Barnstormers. Pitch on the ground over to shortstop. Not all that well hit. Fielded by Baca. Throw to first in time to get the speedy Melvin Mercedes. And there's one away. Well, let's get to the shout-outs first then. It's Strasburg Railfainer says, "Hi Ryan," not exactly sure who he's referring to. Wes Bumper says, "Good evening, Crustacean Nation. A beautiful evening for Blue Crabs baseball. Let's go, Blue Crabs, get steamed." Blue Crabs Diehard says, "Good evening, everyone. Let's go, Blue Crabs. Have a great night, everybody." Luis Montgomery says, "Good luck, guys." And here is the first pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes a called strike. Tammy Shipley, "Hi everyone, watching from my car on the way to Woodstock, Georgia to see my granddaughter, Romy Walker. Good luck, Crabs." Well, Tammy, thank you for joining us. 0-1 offering. Swing and a miss, strike two on Trayvon Robinson. The high heat gets him swinging, and the count 0-2. Mark Peroni says, "Umpire, call the game right." I'd have to imagine he's related to Anthony Peroni. And the 0-2 pitch up and away. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, fans, it's time for the trivia question. Our trivia question tonight relates to the Blue Crabs record with the Barnstormers. Southern Maryland 11-1 against the Barnstormers up until this point in the season. They were 11-0 until last night. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's just Thompson's second strikeout of the night, but he's retired the first 11 Barnstormers, and there are 2 away in the top of the fourth. Thompson 3 2/3 innings across just 42 pitches. So, Blue Crabs 11-1 against the Barnstormers this season. What is the best MLB intra-division matchup, intra-division record against an opponent? So, against an opponent in a season, what's the best record a team has had against a divisional opponent? Has to have played that opponent at least 15 times to qualify for these purposes. First pitch up and away, count 1-0. Best record by an MLB team against a divisional opponent in a season. 0-1, or 1-0 I should say. It's a called strike. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Andretti Cordero, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He went down looking. Here's the 1-1. On the ground to third, pretty well hit. Fielded by Crosby effectively. The throw to first is in time for the final out. Down go the Barnstormers, 1, 2, 3 in the fourth inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still no score from the Reagan Waldorf.
This is Alex Crosby, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
At Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, mortgages are what they do, not who they are. Fairway Mortgage Corporation is a proud partner of the American Warrior Initiative. A key part of this initiative is to educate, encourage, and inspire Americans to give back to our military. Visit their website at www.americanwarriorinitiative.com for more details. Our military fought to protect the American dream. Let's help them live it.
bottom of the fourth inning. It's Braxton Lee who gets things started. First pitch is away for ball one. Well, in this ball game, it's the Barnstormers, no runs on no hits through the first 4 innings. For the Blue Crabs, no runs on 1 hit in the first 3 innings. Pitch to Braxton Lee is a called strike on the outer half in the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lee has the lone Blue Crabs hit so far. Was a double down the left field side. And the 1-1 pitch is inside in the count, 2-1. Wasn't quite down the line. Ended up like 3-hopping the wall. Was in a bit of an awkward spot the left fielder can sometimes get to. Pitch, this one on the ground to second. Melvin Mercedes there with plenty of time to throw out the runner. And there's 1 away. And here comes David Harris, who is 0 for 1 tonight. Of course, the 2 home runs yesterday, though. That's the big storyline. Tying the game in the 9th, getting one back in the 7th. And the first pitch is inside, count 1-0. One pitch, low and away. Count 2-0. And the count 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, no score here in the 4th inning. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch, this one on the ground, this one toward the middle. Terrific play by Anderson Felice. The throw to first. Not close to get David Harris, who legs out an infield single and dives into first base safely. Was merely a ground ball headed toward the middle, and Anderson Felice, the shortstop, tried to throw. His momentum taking him in that direction. It was tough for him to plant and fire and get anything behind it. And the throw came up short to the first baseman, Colton Shaver, and it's an infield single for David Harris. Just the 2nd Blue Crabs hit of the night. And normally I'd say, you know, maybe the Blue Crabs are going to steal a base here, put a runner in scoring position. I don't find that likely with David Harris, just given the recent situation with his hip flexor. He's got a very short lead at first. And Crosby shows bunt. He pulls back in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes on Crosby. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball is short. Could be 2. Felice to second for 1. Back on to first. 4, 6, 3. Double play. Throw beat Crosby by maybe a step at first. And that ends the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, the Blue Crabs pick up 1 hit, though they strand none on a double play to end the inning from Alex Crosby at the end of 4 innings of play. It's the Blue Crabs nothing. It's the Barnstormers nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
We go to the top of the fifth, no score, as Colton Shaver steps in. First pitch called a ball. I was going to say it called strike. Looked like it caught the outside corner, but the home plate umpire says not so fast. That's a ball. And the count 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, there's one college football game in the books right now. It was 3-seed Georgia against the 11-seed Oregon Ducks, and it was not close. That's being kind. 1-1 pitch upstairs, count 2-1. 49-3 in that ball game. The Chick-fil-A kickoff at 3:30 p.m. Well, that one went sideways in a hurry. 2-1 pitch on the ground, third base side, and the count 2-2. Some other top 25 matchups: Texas A&M winning 31-0, Michigan 51-7, NC State holding off East Carolina 21-20 on the road. Arkansas over Cincinnati, the 19 seed over the 23 seed, 31-24. And of course, Notre Dame and Ohio State just about to get underway. Pitch popped up in the infield. It's the second baseman Yetzko who drifts onto the outfield grass and makes the catch, and there is one away. Well, if there was any question that whether or not Georgia is good enough to repeat, well, I think any question is put in doubt now with a 49-3 win over the number 11 team in the country. Have to wonder if Notre Dame's game is going to be of the same note. One out in the top of the fifth, no score. Pitch, line drive to right. This one off of a cannon, and Braxton Lee forced to play it on a bounce. It's going to go all the way to the wall. It's Lee who fires into the cutoff man, Yetzko. It's the first hit of the day for the Lancaster Barnstormers after 13 consecutive retired by Darrell Thompson. So the perfect game no longer. Runner on second base and one out for the Barnstormers. Runner on second base, one out, no score. Throw down to second. Baca couldn't hold it in the glove. Probably would have had him, though, at second base. A really good play by Baca, sneaking behind the runner, Anderson Feliz, who just broke up the perfect game from the Blue Crab starter, Darrell Thompson. There's a chance Lee could have possibly dove and tried to make a play on that ball. Unlikely, though. Would have been a really, really hard play to make. Pitch called strike on Anthony Peroni. The count 0-1 on the righty. Runner on second base, one out. First hit of the day for the Lancaster Barnstormers. First base runner, now a throw to second base. Not a good one from Thompson, as Yetzko is forced to dive to the first base side of second to keep that ball from going into the outfield. Oh, 1 pitch from Darrell Thompson. A little up, count 1-1. One ball, one strike. One out, runner on second base. No score between the Barnstormers and the Blue Crabs. Top 5. Anthony Peroni grounded out to shortstop his first time up. 1-1, that's away, count 2-1. The pitch, line drive, first base side, foul territory. And And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's give you some scores from around the Atlantic League. Long Island over Staten Island 6-4. The Genomes over Gastonia 3-2. Both those games in the top of the 5th as well. And the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, well struck, deep left center field. Collier is back, he's in front of the warning track, he makes the catch. Felice tagging from second to third, throws a good one, but a little late to get the speedy Felice. And there's a runner on third base now with 2 outs. A long fly out from Anthony Peroni brings Chris Proctor to the plate. And Chris Proctor's, his biggest skill there is his speed. It's really quite impressive. Nearly beat out that ground ball to Yetsko that was deflected. Anytime you have a grounder to second, even if it is deflected, you're able to reach on a base hit. It shows you got some speed there. Pitch, line drive, shallow center field. It's Collier who moves in. He makes the catch for the final out. Well, Darrell Thompson allows his first hit. He strands a runner on third base, though, as the Barnstormers can't cash into the top of the 5th. It's the Blue Crabs nothing and the Barnstormers nothing on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
We apologize for a slightly late start here in the 5th inning. It's a 2-1 count on Collier. Had to take care of some business in between innings. And the pitch that is fouled off, third base side. Very busy around here in the press box. And the count 2-2 on Zach Collier. 2-2 pitch from Niall Ball. Swinging a ground ball, first base side, foul. As the first baseman, Colton Shaver, goes over to field it. Two balls, two strikes, nobody out. The Blue Crabs have no runs on 2 hits. For Lancaster, no runs on 1 hit. 2-2 pitch from Ball. Swinging a ground ball over to shortstop. Fielded by Anderson Feliz. Throw to first in time to get Collier by a half a step. That was really close over at first, but the right call still from Mike Williams in a bang-bang play. And there's one away. And here comes Joe DeLuca. And Joe DeLuca comes to the plate. First pitch, swinging a line drive, very well struck to deep right. This one back to the warning track at the wall. It's gone. The first pitch he sees here in the 5th from Niall Ball, blasted over the wall in right. The Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead. Joe DeLuca goes deep in the 5th. A solo shot off the bat of the switch hitting catcher, who got a hold of one and drove it out of the ballpark. For Joe DeLuca, it's home run number 10. And Jared Walker now comes to the plate. And Walker is still tied for the team lead in home runs. It's not a Blue Crabs team that hits all that many. David Harris was at 13 for a long time. Jared Walker's been at 15 for a long time, but Harris with 2 home runs yesterday is now caught up to Walker. They're both at 15. Pitch, big wave and a miss, and the count 0-1. Meanwhile, Joe DeLuca creeping up at 10. DeLuca's got some real power, as does Walker, and there have been a few plays from really quite a few guys here who have hit the ball really, really well, but this ballpark's going to hold a lot. Deep right center field is really deep. It's nearly 400 feet. Probably it's north of 400 and 1 point out in that left center field alley, or I beg your pardon, right center field alley. The 0-1 pitch is away, and the count 1-1 strike. A solo shot, though, from Joe DeLuca. That's the difference right now. And the 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. Count 1-2 now on Walker. He'll be followed by Ian Yetzko. Ball comes set. That's low and away. Count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning, and the Blue Crabs have finally broken through. Can they add some insurance runs, though, for Darrell Thompson and company? 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Oh, the home plate umpire in tonight's ball game, that's Doug McFarling, rings up Jared Walker on a pitch that was borderline on the outside corner. Looked away from my perspective. We'll see what the TrackMan pitch tracking technology tells us. It had that pitch right on the black. Probably a called strike. Good call from the home plate umpire, Doug McFarlane, according to our TrackMan. It's Yetzko who shows bunt and tries to bunt for a base hit, but he bunts foul. Yetzko hitting .259 on the year, 5 home runs. That OPS at .739. Not bad numbers for your 9-hitter, especially if you can add some real pop. And this is a guy in Yetzko who will go alley to alley and really swing the ball well, driving balls to left center. Pitch, ground ball, nicely snagged by the pitcher, Niall Ball, who sprints to the bag, tosses to first, and it's in time to get Yetzko. I think Shaver was a little confused as to why the pitcher, Niall Ball, ran 80% of the way to first before tossing it to him. But he kept on running all the way to the dugout, and Shaver just sort of standing there like, well, I guess that does it. The end of the 5th inning, it's the Blue Crabs who get a run on a solo shot off the bat of Joe DeLuca. When we come back, it's Daryl Thompson back on the mound for the top of the 6th. The first pitch fouled off, and the count 0-1. In the top of the 6th inning, the Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead over the Barnstormers. It's Jacob Barfield, the batter. Barfield, Lair, and Mercedes here in the 6th. Pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, not all that deep. Shallow center field, long run. It's Baca who gets all the way out there and makes the catch. How about that? Michael Baca, 100 feet deep in center, just took one away as Collier had no idea where that ball was. And Jacob Barfield pops one up, and it's the shortstop, Michael Baca, who makes a terrific catch in shallow center, tracked it all the way, and got there at the last moment. And there's one away. Well, Baca might not have a hit at the plate, but he's just taking one away in the field. Probably extra bases at that with how high that ball was hit. Pitch, up and away, count 1-0. You look at Baca as one of the best defensive players on this team with the work he does at shortstop. 1-0 pitch. That's low, count 2-0. Daryl Thompson's only allowed one hit across 5 1/3, no runs, but he does have to thank his fielders. He's only struck out 2 batters. They've done the rest of the work. 2-0 pitch, called strike again, falling behind in the count early. It's been an issue for Thompson. The strikes to balls numbers overall have not been. 61 pitches, 41 strikes. That's pretty darn good. Pitch called. Did that call the ball? Oh my, it looked like it was pretty close on the inner half. Call the ball, maybe a little in on Trace Lair, and the count 3-1. This is, I believe, the first time tonight that Daryl Thompson has had a 3-ball count on a batter. 3-1, called strike, count 3-2. Trace Lair doesn't like it. He was walking toward first base when he was called back. The count 3-2. And the 3-2. Line back behind home plate, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, there's no other option than Collier lost that last one in the lights, but how about an incredibly impressive play from Michael Baca defensively, covering a ton of ground in the field. Pitched. Line foul off the bat of Trace Lair yet again, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes still. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Thompson, through 5 1/3, has thrown 66 pitches. And I'll be interested to see how deep in the ball game he's able to go. 3-2 pitch from Thompson. Inbound. Line drive, third base side, foul. This one heads towards the Legends Club, about 6-7 rows deep. There's some sort of a heckler out there in the crowd who's just yelling things constantly. Trace Lair moves his bat in a circular motion. Base path's empty, 1 out. Here's the 3-2. Line drive, foul into the netting, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. It remains. Let's make sure that everybody got to that trivia question we had earlier. So the trivia question is, what's the best MLB divisional record against a divisional opponent? Best MLB record against a divisional opponent in MLB history. It's for a single season. Pitch. Line drive, foul. Best record against a divisional opponent in a single season in MLB history. The Blue Crabs 11-1 against the Barnstormers this year. For some context, have to have played at least 15 games. The best record against a divisional opponent. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the offering. Up and away, ball 4. First walk that Darrell Thompson's had in a couple of weeks. Darrell Thompson does not walk a lot of batters. Has that in common with Alex Marathieu, Eddie Butler, Mitch Lampson. Really, basically, this entire pitching staff does not walk a whole lot of guys. And the first pitch now on the ground towards short. Could be 2 to second for 1. Back on to first, not in time. Melvin Mercedes beats it out at first base. Close play, but he is safe. And there are 2 away. The last time that the Blue Crabs pitcher Darrell Thompson walked a batter was on August 25th at York. Across the entire month of August, he threw 45 innings and walked 4 batters. It takes an at-bat like the one we saw from Trace Lair to walk. 10 pitches, 3-2 count, fight off a few, and Thompson tries to go for a strikeout, misses upstairs. First pitch, swing and a miss, count 0-1. Darrell Thompson's whip across the month of August, 0.79 with a 2.96 ERA. Really only had 2 bad starts in that frame. Against Wild Health in York, where he allowed 6 runs apiece. And the pitch, this one just over the head of Thompson. It's Baca who steps down the second base bag for the final out. Well, that ends things in the top of the 6th. It was the first walk issued by Darrell Thompson. He surrendered just 2 base runners as Trace Lair reached. But the Blue Crabs get out of it. The Lancaster Barnstormers strand 1 on first base at the end of 5 1/2. It's the Blue Crabs with a 1-0 lead on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to WilliamRichmondInc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, Jack Sundberg steps in here in the top of the sixth. He has changed his walk-up song to "I look really good in that." I think that's what the lyrics are. I can't quite tell you. And the first pitch away in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Count 1-0. The previous walk-up song for Sundberg is the 1-0 pitch, a called strike, is from the show Peaky Blinders. Now, I haven't watched the show, so I really don't have much to say about it. I think most people, it's got pretty good reviews online, but again, I haven't watched it, so I don't have much to say on it. But I don't know if it's the theme song or what role it played in that. I'm sure Jack Sundberg will let me know if he listens back to this. 1-1 pitch is low and in, count 2-1. Sundberg had a 34-game on-base streak going with that song. It was snapped yesterday, and he's got a new song today. Pitch, ground ball over to first. Tough time handling it for Cordero. The flip to first, still in time to get the runner. Niall Ball was there covering Cordero. I beg your pardon, that's Shaver who had trouble with it, who flipped over to Niall Ball for the out. Now, Sundberg couldn't buy the base hit that time around. So a 3-1 put out, and there's one away in the bottom of the sixth inning. 1-0 Blue Crabs. The solo home run from Joe DeLuca is the difference right now. We'll give you some numbers on the two pitchers who remained in this ball game in one moment. First pitch, that's a called strike. Count 0-1. Through 5 1/3, Niall Ball, 71 pitches, 44 strikes. Thompson so far, 6 innings of work. 73 pitches, 50 strikes. 0-1. Low, count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-0 Blue Crabs. Baca at the plate in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the 1-1. On the ground over to third, fielded by the third baseman Lair, who fires to first in time to get Baca. And there are 2 away. Niall Ball, who has not played any affiliated baseball. You know, we have these stat packs we make for the coaching staff, and they also help us as well. It's just, they help everybody, really. But we make these stat packs. And I always include the pitcher's game log from this season, their numbers in independent baseball, and MLB.com differentiates. They have 2 different areas for independent and affiliated ball. Pitch, ground ball over to the shortstop. Anderson Felice fires to first in time to get Lee. Anyway, I'll finish this up just briefly here. So I was looking, I thought, well, Niall Ball's got some pretty good numbers. Did he ever play affiliated ball? He did not. Just his second year of indie ball. Well, that does it from us in the 6th inning. The Blue Crabs go down in order at the end of 6. It's 1-0 Blue Crabs in the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, we go to the top of the 7th inning, and Andretti Cordero comes to the plate for the Lancaster Barnstormers. First pitch, called strike on the outer half, and the count 0-1. 1-0 Blue Crabs here in the 7th on bobblehead night. It's all been Daryl Thompson up until this point. Pitch, swinging a line drive. This one to left center. It falls for a base hit. Andretti Cordero has his first hit of the night. It's just the Barnstormers' second of the evening, and the leadoff man is on base. Now the question is, at what point would the Blue Crabs say, all right, let's go to the bullpen here? Thompson's on 3 days rest. Keep in mind he pitched on Tuesday and threw 90 pitches in the complete game 7-inning shutout over the Charleston Dirty Birds in game 2 of that doubleheader. And the 36-year-old, a workhorse for the Blue Crabs. Pitch, wave and a miss from Colton Shaver in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Lone hit today, aside from that from Cordero moments ago, was Anderson Felice, who doubled back in the 5th and was stranded on third base. Thompson the pitch to Shaver. Swinging a ground ball foul, third base side, well struck. Count 0-2 on Shaver. Well, fans, if you know the answer to the trivia question, go ahead, let us know. Or you want to just throw out a guess there, we'd appreciate it. Still no answers yet in our YouTube chat. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. High fastball from Daryl Thompson. He elevates and gets a swing and a miss. And there is one away. Runner on first base, 1 out, 1-0 Blue Crabs in the top of the 7th inning. Thompson rolling. First pitch to Anderson Felice, a little outside, count 1-0. Thompson has thrown 79 pitches, 55 strikes across 6 1/3. Pitch. Runner goes, a delayed steal, no one's there covering. It's ball's gonna get into center field. Collier can't handle it, and it's easily into third base with 1 out. Heads up base running by Andretti Cordero. A throw from Joe DeLuca down to second on a delayed steal when no one covered. Wasn't a bad throw by DeLuca, no one was there. It's going to be hard to pin an error on anybody involved. DeLuca threw to second base when no one was there. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Anderson Felice, who has one of only 2 hits for the Barnstormers tonight. Thompson at risk of allowing a run. 2-0. Swing and a miss, count 2-1. The difference in this ball game, a home run from Joe DeLuca as he threw that ball into center field past Baca and Yetzko. I think that was Baca's base to cover, but I'm honestly not 100% sure. We can go over that in a moment. Pitch, swing and a miss, another high fastball, and Thompson gets a wave and a miss, count 2-2. Now you're still playing with a little bit of fire if you go with a couple of breaking balls here. Of course, the last thing you want to do is hang one, but the other issue is do you put one in the dirt? If it gets past DeLuca, Cordero, who runs well on third, could score without a ball being put in play. 2-2. Foul back, count remains 2-2. So Cordero, who singled to get things going. It was Colton Shaver who struck out, a stolen base from Andretti Cordero, who reached third later on the throw. Thompson the 2-2. What a bin, strike 3. Was time granted? And Thompson says, whoa, you never granted him time. That would have been strike 3. And Thompson having some words with Doug McFarling. That should be strike 3 right there, but Doug McFarling, who never granted time, has really just gave time to Anderson Felice mid-windup. That would have been strike 3 for sure. Two-two pitch. That's called strike 3. How about that? Battling back in the at-bat. Darryl Thompson needed a couple of strike 3s to finally get the punch out, and Doug McFarling rings up Anderson Felice. There are 2 away, and now the infield can move back a little bit. Thompson not out of the woods yet by any means. Runner on third base and 2 outs, but he's gotten the initial threat, and that's the most dangerous of them, of course, because a sacrifice fly, a fielder's choice in the infield, and there are a whole host of ways things can go awry and you can allow a run without allowing a hit even, but now it's going to force either wild pitch, pass ball, or a base hit from Anthony Peroni. Pitch popped up overhead here in the booth. That one lands on top of the suite to our right and rolls down to the lower deck. And an attentive fan found the baseball. 2 away, and the count, no balls and 1 strike on Anthony Peroni, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out tonight. Hitting .244 on the year. Thompson pitch, low and away, count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Barnstormers nothing, Blue Crabs 1. The lone Blue Crabs run came back in the 5th on a solo shot from Joe DeLuca. Thompson the pitch, low, count 1-2, or 2-1 I should say. 1-0 Blue Crabs, 2 outs, 2-1 on Peroni with a runner on third base. Thompson for the second time this game dealing with a runner on third. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow right, long run for Braxton Lee, who's under it and makes the catch toward the right field line. Andretti Cordero, a real threat for Darryl Thompson. He singled, he reached third on a stolen base and an error, but stranded there as Thompson strikes out Anderson Felice and gets a fly out from Anthony Peroni to end the top of the 7th inning. Still 1-0 Blue Crabs. Time to get up and stretch here at the Reg in Waldorf. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
All right, fans, let's get up and stretch. Let's send it.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
David Harris comes to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Harris followed by Crosby and Collier. First pitch called strike, and the count 0-1. One nothing Blue Crabs. That's all the offense we've had today. 0-1 pitch, wave and a miss, count 0-2. It's from a solo shot off the bat of Joe DeLuca, who went deep to right. And that's the difference right now. 7 innings of shutout ball from Darryl Thompson, allowed 2 hits and a walk. Blue Crabs 1 run on 3 hits through 6 innings. Pitch, line drive foul. Count 0-2, it remains. Base paths are empty. Here's the pitch to Harris. Swinging a high fly ball, center field. Not all that deep. Deep enough to send the center fielder Robinson back in front of the warning track where he makes the catch. And here comes Crosby. He'll be followed by Collier in a 1-0 lead for the Blue Crabs. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Thompson's numbers tonight, they've been spectacular. For Darryl Thompson, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He's thrown just 88 pitches. First pitch to Alex Crosby. That's up and away. Count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Niall Ball, the 1-0. Called strike. No, is that called a ball? Oh my, looked pretty good from up top, but count 2-0. There is some action in the Lancaster bullpen. Not a ton. It appears as though the bullpen catcher is up and he's thrown against the wall, actually. A little confusing. You'd think that you'd see a pitcher thrown against the wall. Instead, it's the bullpen catcher. And that pitch is there for a strike. It's in the outer half, 2-1. Now the 2-1 offering. Line drive, center field. This one bounces in front of Trayvon Robinson. It's the Blue Crabs' 4th hit of the night. Runner on first base with 1 out for Southern Maryland. As Zach Collier will come to the plate, he'll be followed by Joe DeLuca. You do have to wonder how long the leash is on Niall Ball if he starts to struggle here in the 7th. Blue Crabs still have no action in their bullpen. That's a little surprising, because if you go Dykstra and Briseño, you put yourself in a great spot for the 8th and 9th, but nothing so far. The Blue Crabs bullpen is empty. A couple guys up and standing watching the ball game. Pitch to Collier, swinging a drive, deep center field. This one back to the warning track at the wall. It's off the wall at center. Rounding third, it's Crosby. Collier headed to third. A stand-up RBI triple from Zach Collier off the wall in dead center. It's 2-0 Blue Crabs on one big swing in the bottom of the 7th. A 1-0 game where offense was hard to come by, and all of a sudden an RBI triple to the deepest part of the ballpark off the bat of Zach Collier. I thought that might get out of here. It somehow stays in the yard. That ball likely hit north of 400 feet, and it's Joe DeLuca who will try to drive in another run and give the Blue Crabs a little bit of a cushion here in the 7th inning. 2-0 Southern Maryland. Infield comes in for Lancaster. Don't want to risk allowing another run. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Blue Crabs. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul ball off the inside of his left ankle. And the count 0-1. Well, it's Zach Collier with a big-time hit in the bottom of the 7th. DeLuca takes a couple of practice swings. Nile ball back to the rubber. Infield in. The shortstop, Anderson Feliz, shaded slightly over to second base. Here's the pitch. Low, count 1-1. Collier leads off of third base. The Blue Crabs already have a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. DeLuca 1 for 2 with the solo shot. 1-1. Inside, count 2-1. Two balls and a strike on Joe DeLuca. Two one, up and away, and the count 3-1 as Nile Ball might be losing a little control here. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Ball has only walked 1 batter so far today. DeLuca will be followed by Walker and then Yetzko here in the 7th. 3-1. That's away. It's ball 4. Joe DeLuca walks. Runners on first and third with 1 out. A big 7th inning for the Blue Crabs. And I'd have to imagine the middle infielders are going to go back. There's going to be a meeting at the mound for the Barnstormers. This is an example of not waiting before things get a little bit out of control. It's almost certainly the right decision that time, as there is action now in Lancaster's bullpen. It's starting to move rather quickly. And now a lengthy discussion at the mound for the Barnstormers. Ball remains in the ball game, but at a real risk of allowing another run here in the 7th. Here comes Jared Walker, still looking for his first hit today. First pitch to Walker is low. 1 ball and no strikes, 1 out. DeLuca off of first base. Collier from third. Blue Crabs have a 2-0 lead. A solo shot from Joe DeLuca back in the 5th, and an RBI triple here in the 7th from Collier. Walker belts the ball foul left field side, and the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out on the lefty. Nile Ball has thrown nearly 90 pitches tonight. Pitch count not particularly high, but when you find yourself in this kind of trouble in the 7th inning, it makes sense why they might be making the move. Throw to first. Gets away from DeLuca. Now the throw goes to the plate. Collier scores as it snuck away from Shaver. And the Blue Crabs have a 3-0 lead, a slightly unforced error, as Nile Ball threw that ball over to first base to check on the runner. And it got past Shaver only briefly as it hit off of DeLuca. And Collier broke for the plate, and by the time Shaver figured out what was going on, it was far too late. 3-0 Blue Crabs in the 7th. Exactly the insurance runs they were looking for. 1-1. Swinging a high fly ball. Left center field rather deep. This one back to the warning track, at the wall, he leaps, it's gone. Jared Walker, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trayvon Robinson traced that ball to the warning track, he couldn't get there. His 16th home run of the season, and Jared Walker goes deep to left center. 5-0 Blue Crabs. Niall Ball has seen this game explode right in his face here in the 7th. Just when things looked like we were going to have a pitcher's duel all the way through, the Blue Crabs have put up a big 4 spot here in the 7th and have a 5-0 lead. Just one out. Here's the pitch to Yetzko. That's away, ball 1. A big 7th inning. It gives Daryl Thompson a lot more breathing room, and at this rate, if he feels up to it, we might see a complete game. 1-0 pitch is a called strike. Count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 5-0 Blue Crabs. Blue Crabs took a 3-0 lead as Collier scored on a wild pitch. This one swinging a line drive to right center. It falls. Yetzko aboard with a 1-out single. Everyone getting hits off of Niall Ball, and that's going to do it. Ross Peoples out to the mound. He's going to make the pitching change here at the Reg in Waldorf. Ball looked really good through the first 6 innings of work. Here in the 7th, things have fallen apart. 4 runs for the Blue Crabs. They lead at 5-0 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We'll step aside for the pitching change. When we come back, we will break down the numbers on the new pitcher.
This is Alex Crosby, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
At Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, mortgages are what they do, not who they are. Fairway Mortgage Corporation is a proud partner of the American Warrior Initiative. A key part of this initiative is to educate, encourage, and inspire Americans to give back to our military. Visit their website at www.americanwarriorinitiative.com for more details. Our military fought to protect the American dream. Let's help them live it.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. There is a pitching change here in Southern Maryland as Chase Johnson takes the mound for the Lancaster Barnstormers. 5-0 Blue Crabs. Runner on first base and 1 out. Johnson comes set. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a ground ball over to second. Could be 2 to second for 1. Back on to first. 4-6-3 double play. As Sundberg out by maybe a quarter of a step and a bang-bang play at first base. Well, that ends the bottom of the 7th inning. Takes just 1 pitch for Chase Johnson to get out of the jam, and that ends things. Well, the Blue Crabs score 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They've got a 5-0 lead here at the Reg in Waldorf. Daryl Thompson returns for the 8th inning.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, or the top of the 8th inning, I should say. 5-0 Blue Crabs. It's Daryl Thompson back out on the mound as the first pitch from Thompson. On the ground over to first base. Walker fields the toss to first in plenty of time to get Chris Proctor, and there is one away. Thompson has gone 7 1/3. He's allowed just 2 hits, and he's walked 1 tonight. It's been that kind of performance yet again for the righty. It's becoming almost commonplace from Daryl Thompson. The ability to have a pitcher like Thompson to go out there every 5 days and for the most part just deal over the course of 6 to 8 innings. It's really helpful. Pitch, swinging a hard fly ball deep left. If it's fair, it's gone. It's a foul ball. Wow, Jacob Barfield absolutely blasted that ball to left, but just a little bit foul the last moment toward that left field foul pole. Oh. As well hit as we've seen a ball all night. It's competitive with Joe DeLuca and Jared Walker's blasts. Those ones in fair territory, though, big difference. 0-1, that ball swinging a high fly ball, left field rather deep. Sundberg back, he's at the warning track, at the wall, he makes the catch just in front of the mini monster. Barfield got a little under that ball, nearly thought he had a home run after that previous one, just barely went into foul territory. Barfield that close to hitting a home run. Well, there are 2 away now in the 8th. And here comes Trace Laird. And here is the first pitch to Laird. It's a called strike, count 0-1. And now the 0-1. Upstairs, count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Five 5-0 Blue Crabs, top 8, pitch, foul back, count 1-2. 94 pitches across 7 2/3 for Thompson. I'd imagine if he can get out of this, the Blue Crabs will ask him to go the complete game shutout if he can make it. Here's the 1-2 to Lair. Swinging a line drive, left field side, foul toward the Legends Club. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, fans, if you have an answer to our trivia question, it is posted in the YouTube chat tonight. What's the best single-season divisional record in MLB history? As the pitch is fouled back, for example, the Blue Crabs have an 11-1 record against the Barnstormers this season. So what's the best record in MLB history, best divisional record against an opponent? And the pitch to Lair, popped up, third base side. Crosby over toward the railing. He makes the catch for the final out. Well, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs retire the Barnstormers in order in the top of the 9th. Thompson still dealing. Blue Crabs have a 5-0 lead from the Reg in Waldorf. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-0 Blue Crabs. It's Michael Baca who will step in. Chase Johnson back out on the mound for his second inning of work after throwing just one pitch last inning. And the first pitch is low for ball 1 on Michael Baca. Chase Johnson, again, took just one pitch to record 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, I should say. Pitch, ground ball, first base line. It's going to get past the first baseman. That's Colton Shaver for a single. It was the right fielder Barfield over quickly who fired in, and then the second baseman Mercedes fired back to Shaver trying to get Baca back at first, but he's in safely. So it was down the first base line. Usually that means extra bases, but Baca gets a single here to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th. He's 1 for 4. Here's Braxton Lee. Lee 1 for 3. Be followed by Harris, who is also 1 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch. A little inside. One ball, no strikes on Braxton Lee. Here's the pitch. Called strike. A little to no wind tonight. The flag out in right center field is motionless. Runner on first base, 5-0 Blue Crabs. Johnson comes set. Here's the 1-1 from Johnson. He's taking his time. Runner goes. It's inbound. Throws low. Throw down a second. Not in time. As Baca slides in safely. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike on Braxton Lee with a runner in scoring position and no outs. Blue Crabs trying to add a run late. In the bottom of the 8th inning. Two-one pitch low in the dirt. It gets away from Shaver, from Peroni, and advancing from second to third. That's Michael Baca. So a runner on third base now with nobody out. The Blue Crabs with a good opportunity to take a 6-0 lead. And the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, well struck left field. That ball tailing foul. That lands on top of the mini monster and back into territory. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Lee. That'll be followed by Harris and Crosby. Blue Crabs 1 run in the 5th, 4 runs in the 7th. Pitch, swinging a line drive, foul yet again. Here is a 3-2. Check swing, defensive swing, foul, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chase Johnson throws pretty hard. He threw as hard as 97 earlier in this at-bat. So he's got serious speed. Runner on third base still for Baca. Pitch, line drive. This one down the left field line again. Tailing foul toward the Legends Club, and we'll do it again. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. This will be number 9 to Braxton Lee momentarily. Johnson's played as high as AAA in Sacramento and in El Paso earlier this year with the San Diego Padres. Pitch, line drive, foul yet again, or I say AAA last year in 2021. Did not do well in AAA and was released. Played in AAA with the Giants as well. Struggled there. Pitched relatively well there in 2017 to a 4.35 ERA, but spent the majority of the season in AA, where he did quite well. 3.91 ERA in AA, 8.69 ERA in AAA. The pitch is fouled back, and the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Pitch number 11, fouled away again. This is some kind of a bat from Braxton Lee. That ball was smoked as well over to the seats on the third base side. 11 pitches to Braxton Lee already tonight in this at bat. Here's number 12. Well, it's coming momentarily. Baca from third, 5-0 Blue Crabs. Lee 1 for 3 on the night. 3-2 pitch. Up and away, ball 4. A 12-pitch walk to Braxton Lee, and the Blue Crabs have a runner on first and third with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Oh, you want to frustrate a pitcher, that's what Braxton Lee just did. Harris with 2 home runs yesterday has a chance to put this ball game completely out of reach here in the bottom of the 8th. With runners on the corners and nobody out. Well, Johnson throws hard, threw 98 a couple of times in that at bat, but Lee stuck with them. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss, breaking ball low and away, and the count 0-1. Baca leads off of third. From first, it's Braxton Lee. Nobody out. Pitch to Harris. Line drive foul, first base side, count 0-2. As we hit, or we get towards the 9 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Running through some Atlantic League scores. Staten Island trails Long Island to the bottom of the 8th, 7-4. Gastonia and Wildwood Health, they're level at 3 in the 8th. In the bottom of the 9th, 2-1, Charleston on top of Lexington. Runner goes, pitch, foul ball. The count remains 0-2. York and High Point, it's 4-3 York in the bottom of the 6th. Count 0-2 on Harris. Tossing back over to first to check on the runner, and the count remains 0-2. And the drum continues to bang down on the lower deck now. 0-2 count on Harris. Chase Johnson throws his 18th pitch of the inning. Hasn't recorded an out yet. Pitch. Line drive foul, first base side. Count remains 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Run you through the Blue Crabs box score in a couple minutes, along with that for Lancaster, which is, well, uneventful. 0-2 pitch upcoming from Chase Johnson. Here's the pitch. Line drive foul. We'll do it again. Well, for the Blue Crabs, who are the big hitters tonight? Funny enough, no one has multiple hits for Southern Maryland. Only one player without a hit is Sunberg. Baca 1 for 4, Lee 1 for 3, Harris 1 for 3. Crosby 1 for 2 with a run scored, a two-run home, or I beg your pardon, RBI triple from Collier, a solo home run from Walker, and a two-run home, or solo homer from DeLuca, two-run homer for Walker. Yetzko is 1 for 3 as well. 0-2 pitch, swinging a foul tip, and David Harris stays alive in what's become a very lengthy at-bat. Chase Johnson will throw his 22nd pitch of the inning. Starting to get kind of wild. 7th pitch of the at-bat to Harris. Pitch upstairs, count 1 and 2. Well, a 12 pitch walk to Lee doesn't help. Michael Baca faced only 2 pitches before singling and then advancing on a steal and an error. Runners on the corners, no outs. 5-0 Blue Crabs over the Barnstormers. The pitch upstairs, count 2 and 2. I brought you the scores in the Atlantic League around college football. It's Notre Dame on top of Ohio State 10-7 in the second quarter. Couple of top 5 teams in an early season matchup. So it's supposed to be a blowout in favor of OSU. I guess the Irish are sort of surviving over there. My alma mater, Notre Dame. Pitch. Foul back toward us in the netting, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. It remains pitch number 9 of the at-bat to David Harris. So he'll see double digits in pitches just after Braxton Lee saw double digits in pitches. The 23rd pitch of the inning. Or I beg your pardon, this is 24. Johnson the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, center field. Coming in, it's Trayvon Robinson who makes the catch. Baca's going to tag from third. Throw is cut off. It's a sacrifice fly from David Harris, and the Blue Crabs have a 6-0 lead. And Collier will come to the plate here in the 8th. Collier, I beg your pardon, Crosby at the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Collier on deck, 1 for 3, a run scored and an RBI triple. Drove in Crosby, came back in the 7th inning and started the rally. The pitch called a ball. Not entirely sure where it missed. Maybe a little bit low in it, maybe a little up and in. But a little tough to tell. They're just going to say maybe a little up. Our TrackMan had it in the zone, though. Count 1-0. One-zero pitch. Upstairs, count 2-0. Two balls, no strikes on Crosby. Pitch, line drive, foul, third base side, count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Johnson has thrown 28 pitches, 19 strikes from the righty. Hasn't done particularly poorly. Just a couple of singles and a walk to Lee, and that's all they've had. 2-0 pitch up and in to Crosby in the count 3-0. I'll talk about a marathon inning. This is one. There've only been 4 batters that have come to the plate. I mean, this one is really going on and on. And just long at bats. A lot of credit due to these Blue Crabs batters who are working this pitching staff. 3-1. Foul back, count 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Blue Crabs 6, Lancaster nothing. 1 run in the 5th, 4 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th here for the Blue Crabs. And the pitch, popped up foul. We'll do it again. That's the 6th pitch of the at-bat. 11 pitches to Lee, 10 pitches to Harris. This is pitch number 7 to Crosby. These at-bats going on and on and on and on. And the pitch. Upcoming now to Crosby. Inbound. Line drive. Center field. Well struck. Robinson back. He's in front of the warning track where he makes the catch. Lee tagging from second to third. And now 2 outs and a runner on third base. 6-0 Blue Crabs in the bottom of the 8th. No action in Southern Maryland's bullpen. Looks like it's Thompson who's going to go out there for the complete game shutout tonight. Have to see if he can keep the Barnstormers bats at bay. Allowed just 2 hits to those bats so far today, and he's walked just 1. He struck out 4 in the meantime. When I spoke with Thompson, he told me he wants to just miss barrels. That's what he wants to do. Miss barrels. He's done that tonight. Not a ton of hard hit balls. And the pitch. Up and away. Count 1-0. One ball, no strikes on Zach Collier. And the 1-0. That's low, count 2-0. I'll give you some information on the 3 pitchers who've been in the game tonight. Kyle Ball has been at 93 miles an hour. Chase Johnson topped out at 98. Darryl Thompson at 91, or 90.9 to be exact. Pitch. Upstairs, count 3-0 on Collier. Chase Johnson has really had some trouble finding the strike zone as well here. I mean, technically he has 22 strikes, 13 balls. That number itself isn't bad, but a walk earlier in the inning. 3 balls in the count to Crosby, 2 balls in the count to Harris, and now a 3-0 count on Collier. Pitch. Called strike, count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 6-0 Blue Crabs with Braxton Lee on third base. Inning started with Michael Baca singling. And the pitch, this one a line drive, 1 hopper over to first, gonna be a tough play. Throw to first, not in time. Collier, an infield hit. It drives in a run as Braxton Lee scores from third. 7-0 Southern Maryland. Wow, all right. Blue Crabs pick up another run. It's Zach Collier on a line drive, 1 hopper over to first. Collier runs well, and he beat Chase Johnson to the bag. Scores another run, and Southern Maryland has a 7-0 start. Looks like that's going to do it. Ross Peoples out to the mound. He takes out Chase Johnson. Blue Crabs lead at 7-0 at the end of 8. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Runner on first base here in the 8th inning, 7-0 Blue Crabs. As the first pitch to Joe DeLuca is low from Donald Goodson, who has a 5.53 earned run average. Donald Goodson, the 1-0, swing and a miss, count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. It's Collier on first here in the 8th. One count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, count 1-2. DeLuca broke the tie back in the 5th, gave the Blue Crabs a 1-0 lead. From there, with a runner on first base, an RBI triple from Zach Collier put the Blue Crabs ahead 2-0. Collier scored on a throwing error by Trayvon Robinson. Or I beg your pardon, by the pitcher, it was Niall Ball. DeLuca walked, and a 2-run shot from Jared Walker gave the Blue Crabs a 5-0 lead. 1-2 pitch, low and in, count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch bounces in front of Joe DeLuca, about 2 feet in front of the plate, in fact, and for that matter, and allows Collier to advance to second base. DeLuca will dig in from the left side with Collier on second base. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off yet again. Blue Crabs 7, Lancaster nothing. You know what we've seen a lot of in this inning? Long at-bats. An 11-pitch at-bat to Lee, a 10-pitch at-bat to Harris, 7 pitches to Alex Crosby. And Zach Collier, that was just 5 on the RBI, and this will be pitch number 7 to DeLuca. That one's fouled back. We'll make it 8 pitches in the at-bat. And DeLuca to be followed by Walker here in the bottom of the 8th. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Right field. This one rather deep, but playable this time around. As Proctor, I beg your pardon, it is the right fielder Proctor who drifts back in front of the warning track where he makes the catch for the final out. Blue Crabs scored 2 more in the 8th. They lead it 7-0. We go to the top of the 9th inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. As Proctor.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
And the first pitch from Darrell Thompson upstairs in the count. 1 ball and no strikes on Melvin Mercedes. Blue Crabs 7, the Barnstormers nothing. 1-0, called strike, count 1-1. Melvin Mercedes, he'll be followed by Trayvon Robinson and Andretti Cordero. 7-0 Blue Crabs in the top of the 9th. The 1-1 pitch is upstairs, or inside, I should say. Count 2-1. 2-1 pitch, swinging a high fly ball, well struck, deep right center field. Long run for Braxton Lee, who's back in front of the warning track where he makes the catch. Deepest part of the park here at the Reg, and Lee tracked it down. There's one away. Certainly well struck off the bat. There's no question about that, but Lee was there to track it down. It's 7-0 Southern Maryland. If you were looking for the furthest hit balls today, Zach Collier's triple to center was marked at 400 feet. DeLuca's home run at 396. Collier's fly out at 378. Jared Walker's home run at merely 325. That sounds short. I don't think that's accurate, but it's what it says. And I think that Jared Walker's, I beg your pardon, I think that Zach Collier's might have been closer to 405. It's really deep out there in right center. 0-1 pitch, fly ball, shallow center. Collier on the run. He calls off Yetzko. They're 2 away. 8 2/3 for Daryl Thompson. Allowed 2 hits. He's walked 1. He's going for the complete game shutout on bobblehead night. And Daryl Thompson, first pitch, swinging a pop-up foul overhead off the bat of Andretti Cordero, who has a hit today, one of just 2 hits today for the ball club. Cordero's got 1, Felice has 1. And the Blue Crabs have a 7-0 lead. Pitch popped up foul, overhead yet again from Cordero on the count, 0-2. The ball might have gotten stuck up on the roof. Either way, count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 7-0 Southern Maryland. Thompson, the 0-2 pitch. Inbound. Swinging a high pop-up. In the infield, Ian Yetzko, the second baseman, tracking it, under it. He makes the catch overhead. A complete game shutout on bobblehead night. Daryl Thompson, 9 innings, no runs, 2 hits. He walked just 1. An all-time performance from the Blue Crabs great. What a game tonight for the ages. 106 pitches, back-to-back complete game shutouts for the righty. Last time around, it was just the 7-inning complete game shutout. Tonight, he goes all 9, allows just 2 hits and walks 1, faces 3 more than the minimum, and a terrific performance from Southern Maryland and Daryl Thompson. Thompson retired the first 11 batters in tonight's game before the Lancaster Barnstormers broke up the perfect game bid in the 4th. Well, no matter which way you cut it, it was something special tonight from Daryl Thompson, a guy that just knows how to pitch. Wow, that was quite something tonight. Daryl Thompson gets the job done as part of a 7-0 win. An emotional day for the righty. On a night to celebrate what he's done in his career in Southern Maryland. They had the dedication to his road earlier this year, Daryl Thompson Drive. It's where the stadium is located, also down the concourse. But tonight, it's bobblehead night for Daryl Thompson, and he goes all 9, allows 2 hits and a walk. We'll have fireworks coming your way shortly. Let's get the box score out of the way, though. For Lancaster, a lot of 0-4s, just a couple 1-4s. Cordero 1 for 4, Felice 1 for 3. Melvin Mercedes was 0 for 4, as was Trayvon Robinson. Everybody else 0 for 3. That includes Shaver, Peroni, Proctor, Barfield, and Allaire. Allaire was 0 for 2 with a walk, actually. He was the only other one who reached base. Run through the scoring plays tonight. Chris, I beg your pardon. Back in the 5th inning, a solo shot from Joe DeLuca. Zach Collier tripled back in the 7th, scoring Crosby. Collier came around and scored on a throwing error, but Jared Walker, a 2-run shot to drive in Joe DeLuca, put Blue Crabs ahead 5-0. In the 8th, David Harris, a sacrifice fly to score Michael Baca, and an infield single from Zach Collier to bring in Braxton Lee. 7-0 your final tonight as Darryl Thompson goes 9 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk. And about as strong a game as you're going to see. Struck out just 4. When I spoke with him on Tuesday, he said, my goal is to miss barrels. He missed barrels tonight, a lot of weak contact in the 7-0 victory. That's going to do it from us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We'll leave the audio on for you for the fireworks tonight. Have a great evening. We finish the broadcast, as always, with Let's Go Blue Crabs.